Just in time. We've got a mess on our hands. Worse than after a dog eats a cheese wheel. The Dominion ambushed us. I'd be ashamed to call it a rout if I wasn't considering how in oblivion they knew. At least we've learned where they are, even if it's butcher's work to get them out of that place. Our attack was a disaster. The other vice cannons agreed to keep our forces together. Should have known they'd peel off the moment I turned my back. If they weren't keeping Stormhold from tearing itself apart, I'd let them boil in a fish kettle. That's the mess. If they're smart, they retreated to a defensible position. My scouts here spotted a cave in the ruins. Before I return to my regiment and order an assault, I need someone to break through enemy lines and confirm they're alive. The cave's smack in the middle of Tenmar Walk. The Dominions locked it tighter than a High Elf's fundament. Might have to knock a few heads to get past them. We each think the other vice cannons are incompetent. Ha! No, it's politics, plain and simple. The one who stays behind looks out of touch, so off we came to the mark. Politics be damned. Next time we draw straws for staying dry and Stormhold.
Well?
The ruins crawl with Dominion. Watch yourself out there.
How did you find us? Unless you're a skin stealer. Keep your hands empty if you please. But you don't stink of death. You're likely what you seem. What remains for you to share is why you came here. Still with us, is he? That man is luckier than a Khajiit in an abandoned fishery. What does Rondar want? If it's for me to say he was right about sticking together, he can drown himself in a bog. We don't need rescuing. We need Rondar to recognize we're bait in another Dominion trap. Tell him I won't allow such wasteful theatrics on our behalf. If you find Vice Canon Rondar's regiment, you'll find him. Tell him to call off his attack before the Dominion picks him apart. He shouldn't throw away his soldiers for what little remains of our forces. If Vice Canon Rondar sends for reinforcements, he'll gain enough soldiers to clear these Dominion muckworms from the ruins. We can manage until then. It's a good place to fight with our tails to the wall.
You aren't like the others. You should keep your own face. It suits you better.
from underground. I saw them drag the others away. We prepared to assault the cave when the soldier beside me stabbed me in the back. When I fell, I saw my own regiment attack itself. Those skin stealers wore our friends' faces to betray us from within. Do you think that they have my face now? I saw them take Ukatse alive, knocked him out, dragged him away to that altar like a piece of meat. Don't let them steal his face.
Untie me before she returns. That crazy elf. She tried to cut my chest, but I kicked her off the altar. Said she'd be back with a duller knife so it would last longer. Wait. I smell her. Cut me loose. Don't let her steal my face.
Stay away
Thank you,
from my
friend.
new face.
Quickly, meet me in that cave. What madness. Soldiers died thinking our own ranks betrayed us. I'd like to feed those skin stealers to a Wamasu with the flux. I saw Vice Canon Ronda's guard lead him away before the attack. If his guard was skin stealers, he's in grave danger. I'm not just the best-looking scout in Shadowfen. I'm also the best tracker. I can pick up Vice Canon Ronda's scent and lead us right to him. I'll need someone to watch my back while I follow my nose. We should work in pairs with skin stealers about, yes? Then I'll shadow you and alert you when I pick up Vice Cannon Ronda's scent. Ready when you're ready?
If only somebody would come.
Something's wrong. He smells very dead. If the Vice Cannon was dead this whole time, was it a skin stealer who launched the attack on the cave? Or before that, when we lost the other Vice Cannons? Vice Cannon Ronda always smelled of mead. I didn't. I should have. Zeus! What secrets do the Dominion already know? You're right. They'll know what to do. They have to. Despite his rough manner, Vice Cannon Rondar was a hero to many in Stormhold. When this is all over, you'll have a fitting burial. This impostor must be found before he can fool anyone else. But I think I know where he's hiding. Vice Cannon Rondar ordered us to stay away from a nearby hill. If it was his skin stealer, he must have held us back for a reason. I bet he's hiding below the hill's surface. The buried temple complex must have an entrance there. A doorway, maybe stairs, or a portal of some kind. I'd join you, but I'm no use in tight quarters. I'll inform the Vice Cannons of what happened, yes.
Come to me, mortal. This is the way in. You dabble in their spells and break into their outpost. Oh, how he misjudged you. How grand. Yes, you marvelous fool. I allowed them to pull me from oblivion, bind my essence, and siphon my power because I'm secretly behind their shabby little plans. Oh, but you don't know about those, do you? You've heard of Ruitar, the celebrated Dominion alchemist. It's all his doing, you know. I'll tell you his plans for your impending doom. For a small favor, of course. You must find the pair of altars binding me, further inside the complex. Do so, and I pledge to share the Dominion's plans and direct you to their most prized possession. Also, I pledge not to violate your corpse on your burial day. A true bargain. There is no other way, my sumptuous little morsel. Break my bonds and I'll give you what you desire. Perhaps more. Or don't, and let your self-righteous pride doom the entirety of Shadowfen. Mortals do love pretending they have a choice.
you doing? Hide before the Dominion spots you. You fight the Dominion. You haven't tried to cut off my head yet. You aren't here to worship Daedra, then. So what in Oblivion are you doing in a Daedric temple overrun by Dominion skin stealers? Fair point, fair point. All right, I won't deny it. Friends and I came looking for Daedric tidbits to sell to mages. Then those Dominion soldiers came. They were thick on the ground until today. I was about to make a break for it when I saw you. Caught, one by one. I'm the only one alive. Well, alive and wearing my own skin. Hey, let's help each other escape. You draw their attention and I'll slip past them. What do you say? You, what now? Look, some Dominion mogul came through here a while back. Ruvatar, they called him. He's the one who bound Dremora and forced her to steal faces off the dead. You want to stop him? You must have been the only egg in your clutch. Smart idea, dealing with Daedra. Before the Dominion came, she promised my friend the night of his life for a drop of his blood. I guess being flayed alive counts as the night of his life. She wore his scales like a robe. Seems trustworthy, yes. Maybe. I spent many cramped nights listening to Ruvatar, the High Elf in charge of this place. I'm sure I could piece it together. But my friends don't deserve to be trapped in glowing rocks. Free them, and I'll help you. A good deal, yes. Trust me, it's for the best. I'll make my way to the inner chamber, where Ruvatar spent most of his time. Try not to attract the Dremora's attention while you're about. She's a vengeful creature. Good thing you didn't release the Dremora. We'd both be ribbons in her hair. Behind her, there's a door to what Ruvatar called the Vault. They have hissed sap in there, stored in giant vats. It's part of their skin-stealing magic. The real question is, where'd they get so much? Wait, I don't want to know. Whatever they did to the hissed sap turned it flammable. Once we enter the vault, set those vats on fire to end this nightmare. That's the easy part. I heard Ruvatar mutter the words 100 times. Maybe you can get something useful out of that Dremora before she realizes you double-crossed her. If you keep her busy, I'll open the door.
You're no fool to withhold your trust. Commendable, truly. But you'll go no further without my help. Destroy these bindings and free me. Your reticence is infuriatingly enticing. Very well. Ruvatar used hissed sap and my stolen essence to create his skin stealers. The hissed sap is what steals the victim's memories. It's all to acquire the Nemic egg. With it, he has all of Black Marsh. My patience grows thinner than you'll be after I fit you with a scathing girdle. Fail to uphold this bargain and I'll instruct you in pains of which you've never conceived, mortal. Wait, what is that swamp rat doing to the vault door? And gaze upon your doom, Ruvatar and his prize.
Door's open. The Dremora didn't pull our stomachs through our nostrils. I call that success. The hissed vats are further down the passage. You set them on fire, I'll stick to the shadows and find signs of where Ruvatar went, yes?
Your interference ends here.
Quick, over here. No sign of Ruvatar, but the Nord over there is definitely a skin stealer. I know what he's planning to do with those prisoners. If I help out, you'll tell nobody about my Daedric relic hunting, yes? When you approach, that Nord skin stealer will kill those prisoners and gain power from their deaths, something the Daedra worshippers used to do in Ten Marwalk. I'll run in and release their bonds. I've untangled worse knots, magical or otherwise. Keep him busy, would you? I don't want to decorate his axe. All right, Bijat, you can do this. Faster than a flesh fly, nimbler than Khajiit.
Anyone could be a skin stealer. Anyone! Never find all of us. We are everywhere.
Follow me. The exit is this way. You stopped the skin stealers in Ten Marwalk. I can go home. Yes. I heard him complain this ruin didn't hold everything he needed. He left to find a place of power where he could use his special egg. What did he call it again? Yes, that's the one. Here, this portal leads beyond the ruins. I'll stay here and see about freeing any prisoners stuck inside. And if you're planning to inform the Vice Cannons of Rubitar, perhaps leave me out of your report, yes? Yes. Did that work?
Have I offended the three? Ukatse informed us you had entered the ruins to pursue Vice Canon Rondar's imposter. Whatever you did in the ruins caused a lot of panic amongst the Dominion. We chose our moment and pushed out of the cave. Vice Canon Haytamine was wounded in the process, but she'll survive. Yes, but Vice Canon Rondar's death weighs heavily on Haytamine. She says she should have known. Poor thing. We were all fooled. But enough of our troubles. Did you stop his imposter? Once she's recovered, Vice Canon Haytamine will no doubt celebrate your accomplishment. But this artifact you mentioned, the Nemic egg, do you know anything of its whereabouts? A Dominion general, perhaps, whoever he is, will stop his march through Shadowfen. I'll appoint Ukatse to lead the scouts in our search for Ruvitar. I swear to you, he'll account for the Dominion's terror. This Nemec egg is unknown to me. If it originated in Shadowfen, perhaps an Argonian would know more. I had someone else in mind. Argonian keepers know the history and legends of their lands. I'm positive one of the keepers at the hatching pools could tell us of the Nemec egg. Vice Canon Hatamine and I must rally the remnants of Stormhold's forces to the hatching pools. If the Skin Stealers took Vice Canon Rondar, they'll know what he knew. Rendezvous with our forces at the hatching pools. We must learn what the Dominion plans for the Nemec egg.
Are you insane? Don't you know what taking those relics will do to the Dreg? What? Our orders were to protect the reliquaries. Removing the relics is the worst thing you could do. This is a disaster! Removing the relics will enrage the Dreg. The tree minders will lose control over them. It's not that simple. There's a whole ritual to perform. The tree minders must first calm the Dreg. Are you insane? Removing... It's not that simple. We must warn the tree minders. Take the relics to Tree Minder Ralital. Her camp is near the ruins. She'll know what to do. I'll go back to the camp and speak to my father. There must be a logical explanation for this. My father wasn't at our camp. Wait, where are Tree Minder Ralital and the others? A Tree Minder never leaves a fire untended. Even if Tree Minder Ralital was called away, one of the other Tree Minders should have stayed to tend the fire. My father would sooner lose an arm than disobey orders. I smell treachery. I'll wager this is some twisted Dominion plot. Give the relics to me. You've done enough damage for one day. Forgive me. I've no right to blame you. You were only following my father's orders. You can trust me. The relics will be safe with me until we locate Tree Minder Ralital and the others. The Dreg may have taken them. They've been driven insane with bloodlust. Dreg bury their captured prey alive, in piles of hardened mud. We must find them before they suffocate. We should separate to cover more ground. If you find them, bring them back to this camp. Make haste! Every moment puts them closer to death!
Freed at last. Not safe here. Come, my camp is at the ruins. Mud is my mother. New Orleans breathes no more. Sithis has called him back to chaos. Look at the blade. That's Servild's weapon. What could drive a father to such madness that he would murder his own hatchling? Then Servild has betrayed us all. Perhaps he has been taken by some madness, or perhaps he is in league with our enemies. Balance must be restored. Where are the relics now? Yet here is his body, and the relics are nowhere to be found. If Servild was an agent of the Dominion, the relics could already be in our enemies' hands. In time, they will discover how to use them to control the Dreg. The Dominion camp at Bog's Edge. I'm no warrior, but there is something I can do. A ritual that might serve as a diversion. I'll need something from their camp. Something laden with their scent. Can you do this? When you have the item, bring it to the reliquary within these ruins. I'll prepare myself for the ritual and meet you there. Raise the hist. You return safely. You have something with our enemy's scent? Place the bedding in the reliquary. My ritual will plant the seed of the Dominion's destruction in the minds of the Dreg. The prey's scent is placed into a sacred vessel to attract the nearest predator. This ritual will turn the Dreg on the dry-skinned fools who seek to enslave them. The Dominion must be stopped before they learn the secrets of the relics, and Sayerville must pay for Nyorland's murder. Let us begin. Place the item on the reliquary. Is planted. The Dreg are frenzied by the Dominion scent. Sayerville must be stopped, and the relics returned. The wind tells me that they are near Mud Shallow Cave in the Dominion camp. Make haste. You have nothing to fear. Your smell will be sun-blessed to their senses, and the Dominion dryskins will smell like prey, the most delicious freshwater trout. Go quickly, before Sayerville flees with the relics.
Dominion!
Won't live to tell this tale. Won't live to expose me.
The winds have changed. The storm clouds part. You have the relics, yes? I can sense them. Zuth, I have heard of such things, but didn't think the Dominion capable of such a horrific act. Skin stealers. And yet, the spirits of Njorland and Sayrvild rejoin the One, and their empty shells nourish the roots of the tree. Many thanks to you. I must return the relics to their rightful places, and quickly.
Keeper Omnise was a kind woman. She tended eggs, you understand? She was a midwife to Argonian hatchlings. And they butchered her. The Dominion cut her down and left her to rot. I take no pleasure in being right. The Dominion must have learned Vice Canon Rondar's knowledge of the hatching pools. It is imperative we learn the Nemikek's true role in the Dominion's plans. They bring nothing to this land but abomination. If you haven't seen it yourself, Dominion forces are all over the hatching pools. They kill anyone who tries to leave. The only good news is they've left the eggs unharmed. We could use your help in learning why. I'd like you to cut down every Dominion soldier you see, but a quieter approach is more prudent. Either way, find Keeper Uzith A. He'll know how to buy time until I arrive with reinforcements. Ukatse found ceremonial garb in the chest behind me. He made it past Dominion guards, but one of their tigers sniffed him out. His wounds weren't too severe. You could use the garb to seek out Keeper Uzith A. Just keep an eye out for tigers. Report the extent of this attack to Vice Canon Haytamine. I expect to return with reinforcements quite soon. We'll drive the Dominion from the hatching pools. If you see opportunities to aid the Keepers, I urge you to do so.
If you're another Dominion retainer come to mock our hatching ritual, we won't stop you. Not that we have a choice. The Dominion tells us nothing. Those who left, they killed. Those who stayed, they let live. We don't know why. We continue to prepare for the hatching. They haven't stopped us from that yet. As we speak, the eggs grow moist. Before we begin the hatching, I wish to know the Dominion's intentions. But endangering yourself on our behalf isn't something I can ask. Then go. Light the braziers and the Zanmirs of first light and setting sun. As you walk amongst the Dominion, listen with care. We must know if they mean us harm. And look for Assistant Talixith. If she still lives, inform her I'll need her assistance.
You come to stop the Dominion soldier who devours my kin? Keeper Uzathay can go count his scales. A Dominion dryskin cooked and ate one of our unhatched eggs. Though I'm sworn to the shell, I will not allow him to harm another. Make the egg he consumed his final meal. Spill his blood upon the ground where it may feed the roots of future generations. Show we fight to protect our young. He must pay for his crimes.
I'll eat her young. Thank you. These people are savages. I hear they eat their own dead. I'll return to Keeper Uzathay shortly.
Almost like dinners from back home. Couldn't we spare them, sir?
Spread out!
Once they complete the ritual, they die like the rest. If you're so keen to argue, talk to the alchemist. It's his order.
Sir, Yes, sir.
Then the lizards get theirs. Leave.
I must be
first.
The braziers burn atop the Zanmir's pinnacles. Tell me, what have you learned of the Dominion's plans? There must be more to it than massacre. What can they achieve by waiting before slaughter? They could kill us now and have done with this place. Something sinister is at work, but we have no time. The hatching will soon begin. Then there is hope. As the hatching approaches, the Dominion will likely observe the ritual. Would you stand with us, despite the danger? Then we should begin. The time of hatching has come. We gather by the boughs of the Hist. What have they... No, this cannot be. Barkenberg, what have they done?
Ahate! No!
The Dominion. They'll doom us all. The Hist. Our link is gone. I cannot feel the Hist. This must be why the Dominion waited, to see if the hatching would fail. Without the Hist, the eggs can't hatch. Now there is only void. I feel it, forming around the tree. You saw what it did to Ahate. The same will happen to our unhatched eggs. I'll offer myself to Sithis in exchange for holding back the void. It must be done. Save the unhatched eggs. Keep the eggs from the void. Protect our future. Sithis, I implore you. Shield our unhatched eggs from the void. Sithis, exchange my life for the void.
Save the eggs. The Dominion. They're coming. Missed. It's killing the eggs. The Dominion. They're coming. We must save the eggs.
There's no time. Run! I can't hold back the void for much longer. Return to the void. Return.
He's gone. He died for the eggs. Did it work? Are they safe? Some, you say? They murdered our hatchlings, our children. Why? But you saved some. That is, it's a good thing. It must be a good thing. We must restore our link to the Hist. Without it, the hatching pools will never see our young rise from its cool waters. The Dominion can only cause such a thing with a powerful artifact. Then the danger is graver than I thought. The Nemec egg bears the memories of the Hist. Severing our link is the least they could do with it. Come, we must leave this place. Thank the Hist.
What happened? If Assistant Talixis is with you, where are the others? Then we're too late. Thank Vivek, some good news. We'll bring the eggs to Hismir where they'll be safe. You handle yourself admirably against such odds. The Dominion would have killed half a generation of Argonians without your help. What of the Namek egg? Have you learned what the Dominion wants with it? Then we know why Ruvatar needed a place of power. Should the Dominion bring the Namek egg to their homeland, they prevent every Argonian hatching ritual from afar. I think I know. When our scouts found signs of Dominion soldiers to the west, Vice Canon Hatamine led a contingent of soldiers to an Aliad ruin called Loriacel. Hurry there and tell her what you know. If you'll excuse me, I have vermin to clear from the hatching pools.
What?
The Kaguti walk amongst the Gwar, but do not hunt unless the Gwar strays from her herd. Then wooden wasps would fly, bringing the Gwar down to the mud. The Kaguti gore the Hist to drink its sap. In the hamlet, a tree dies screaming. In the mire, a tree goes mad. The Gwar watch the Kaguti, but do not understand. A weapon once gifted to the Wasp children. Bound in blood, it slips through the Hist's dreams. Tree blood burns, and Tree dies a lonely death removed from its sisters. The Gwar thanks the mighty Wamasu for its mercy. The Kaguti thought themselves clever to coat their tusks with poison, but the tree knows all. Its roots will soon feed on the Kaguti who burned its blood. The Kaguti think the Gwar won't bite off the tusk that strikes it. Now the Kaguti are brought down to the mud. The Gwar seeks reeds to fill its belly. A gully in which to wallow. These are what the Gwar needs. Leave conquest for the Kaguti.
How dare you?
If you're here to complain about the Dominion soldiers' presence, I've already heard every complaint you can imagine. The soldier in question, Captain Hinamo, announced himself and his intentions to undertake the trials of the burnished scales. By holy tradition, pilgrims who declare themselves may not be harmed. The Hist alone decides his worthiness through the trials. Those who complete the trials may commune with the Hist. I don't know why this interests the Dominion, but I fear it is no good for Shadowfen. Perhaps you could find out yourself, take the trials, and keep an eye on this enemy of our people. The Trial of the Mind is your first challenge. The trial is located in a hut on the northwest corner of the pyramid.
The Hist will abandon us if a Dominion soldier communes with it.
All are as one within the Hist. To be as one requires discipline. The trials prove your commitment. They also test your body and mind. We must see if you are capable of surviving the process without dying or going mad.
Ah!
What happened to our pilgrims? Where could they be? The pilgrims were supposed to arrive hours ago. I expected some pilgrims from Forsaken Hamlet today. With the trials at hand, I must stay here. And none of the other route stewards have the time to search the Northeast Road. If you're headed that way, would you look for them?
Arbiter orders our hatchlings murdered, I...
Say that the next trial I'll need to run? Fine.
Pilgrim, the trial of the mind awaits below. Your goal is simple. Show you comprehend our past. Communing with the Hiss teaches who we were before, makes us what we are now. To remember our ancestors' deeds is to know ourselves. Learn of our past, and act with what you gain. You conquered the trial of the mind. Faster than Captain Hinamo, might I add. Perhaps he's not suited to feats of intelligence. Your next trial is that of the heart, where unnecessary distraction and digression lead to failure. Follow the well-traveled path marked by statuary. Speed is of utmost importance. Nazooks awaits you at the finish. Are you ready?
What would the Dominion gain by keeping pilgrims from the trials? It is senseless.
Who would take the relics? Their only value is... Why would someone steal from us?
Come, do your trading here.
Who would take the relics? Their only value is historic. 3 simple stone pieces, part of our heritage. No jewels, no gold, nothing a dryskin could value. Theft isn't unknown in Hismir, but it's rare enough I wouldn't know where to start looking for the culprit. Such ardor, you might consider undergoing the trials of the burnished scales if you haven't already. I would welcome any help. I stored the relics in this cart. Perhaps one of the pilgrims observed something I did not. I'll remain here to protect what relics are left, to guard these pieces of our heritage. Such a strange thought. Our history, carvings, keystones, and bits of Hismir itself, all of
You would speak with me. I saw nobody, but during the later watches last night, I woke when I heard someone running to the east. Perhaps it was the thief?
The winds carry strange seeds to Hismir. Will they take root? I heard a strange noise by her cart. I saw one of my people wearing a red jerkin, and that's all I know. I had nothing to do with it. Whoever it was ran to the east. That's all I know.
Kayak, do you make a habit of barging into houses? I know nothing about stolen relics. Now get out of my house. Wait. Some high elf pilgrim offered my tail's weight in gold for those things. But after he saw them, he said they were useless. Take the relics. I want nothing to do with any of this.
Did you recover our stolen relics? Are relics stolen by one of our own? He knew their lack of worth to outsiders. Perhaps his eggs spent too much time in the shade before his hatching. No matter. It's enough you've returned them to us.
You return. You may attempt again. Remember, unnecessary distraction leads to failure. Someone, please help me. Someone, please help me.
I've waited for you. You've undertaken the trial of the heart. You did, but that was not the true test. Was achieving your goal worth leaving behind someone in need? The trial of the Fang remains before you. You must fight while at great disadvantage. Bimikas will assist you in your preparations.
Another pilgrim?
So few today beyond yourself and that Dominion soldier. Are you ready for the trial of the Fang? I do. It's quite simple. Defeat any of these warriors in single combat to pass the trial of the Fang. Oh, and you must drink poison. Nothing permanent, just something to dull your senses. Here, when you feel the poison's fire in your veins, challenge any warrior to single combat. Go prove yourself ready for the Hist.
New challengers are always welcome. Your sickly pallor comes from root rot poison. Excellent. I accept your challenge, and I offer you the honor of first strike. Enough, I yield. You fight like Wamasu.
I see no lingering effects from the root rot poison. Aren't you a hardy one? Yes, and you did it well. Few make it past the trial of the mind, let alone all 3 trials. They're necessary to prepare one's body and spirit for what comes next. I see no lingering effect. Yes, and you... Good. I've prepared Hist sap in the bowl beside me. Drink it when you wish to commune with the Hist. It is different for every pilgrim who drinks the Hist sap. You may speak words or think thoughts that aren't your own. When the Hist shows all it wants you to see, find Comax A at the highest tier of our pyramid. He'll help you interpret your visions.
I give you one chance to surrender.
Surrender to your death. May your soul burn.
My love, I found the right mixture. You've heard it before, I know, but this time I feel it in my scales. Drinking this will allow all of us to commune with the Hist. We'll regain what our people lost. I guess it's now or never. The Hist is in my mind. So strange. I must...
Years of work, and it all comes to this. I almost don't believe it. You should be the one. You communed with the Hist, refined the amber. Placing the Zot stones was enough for me. It worked. Oh, and it's so beautiful. I must tell the others.
Ringi are upon us. Quickly, activate the Zot stones. Such power, were it ever to fall into the Kothringi's hands.
Return. As Root Steward, I must say your vision remains a secret of the Hist and yourself. But for myself, I must ask, what did you see? Zot stones. The Hist may be showing you a way to defend Hismir against some future threat, but I have not heard of Hist Amber in an age. You should speak with Kamaxe. If anyone knows, he will. Gone. Whatever the Hist showed him, he was in a hurry to act. Perhaps his people are threatened as well.
The look in your eyes. You've communed with the Hist, I see. You and the Dominion captain make two outsiders in one day. A portent if there ever was one. Fruit of the Hist. Its magic once powered the Zot stones, protecting us from our enemies all those years ago. But the Hist haven't borne fruit in an age. Why do you ask? Oh no. Captain Hinamo also asked about the Hist Amber. Then he left here in great haste. If he possesses any amber, he could use the Zot stones upon the Root Stewards, the Pilgrims, everyone in Histmere. Why would the Hist show him this vision? To ward the western ruins. If you find any Hist Amber, keep it from Captain Hinamo's hands and return it as swiftly as you can. Should the Dominion plan to capture Hismir for themselves, I must prepare a defense. I pray the Hist Amber is lost to the ages. Captain Hinamo must not control Histmir's lost power.
One side is dispatched. Hismir will be ours.
have not pleased the Hist today. Rather, you fulfilled the Hist's expectations. A subtle distinction, but necessary to comprehend the Hist. You unlocked a secret from our past. One so well hidden we didn't see it ourselves. We'll retain this memory until it is lost once more. Then, in a time of great need, the Hist will reveal your deeds to our descendants. You unlocked it.
Dominion soldiers destroyed my home. Without help from the Shadow Scales, I wouldn't have escaped.
Some come to see the Zonmirs and dig for buried treasure. Bah! Only the Hist matters.
The Altmeri Dominion happened. They landed their ships at our village southeast of Hismir. Then they started slaughtering everyone. They may be coming this way next. I hid in an awful pile. I thought I was doomed. But a shadow scale named Silent Moss found me and helped me escape. I don't know what happened to him after that. If you want to help, go see him. He might still be there.